let's quickly go through a demo. This will be quite a quick one, but if there's questions later, then we can always answer those. Okay, so to start here, I just have literally I just did dbt init in a new directory. So you have your dbt project file. You have your two example models that dbt gives you, and that's just if you initialize a new dbt package, a new dbt dbt repository. What you can then do is create a packages.yaml, and importing the Snowplow mobile package is as simple as creating a packages.yaml, writing packages, specifying the Snowplow mobile package. And you don't even have to specify a version. I mean, it's good that you do, because we could and sometimes do release breaking changes, and you don't want your pipelines to be affected by that. So make sure you specify which version you want. And what we also have is we have these variables that you might want to enable or disable depending on what you need. There's a lot of details around what these variables are, or what the reason for all these variables are in the docs. But what you can see is right now there's nothing going on. If I type, well, dbt clean is always a good idea. Just to it removes a bunch of files that have been left over from previous runs, like in target and dbt packages. Obviously, I haven't run anything, so there's nothing at the moment. And then I just run dbt deps, and what that will do is it will install the packages and all their dependencies in my dbt packages folder, and you can see the source code of the Snowplow mobile package, as well as the Snowplow util package, which we've created on top of that. In the Snowplow mobile package, which you can also find on GitHub, we have a custom example here of creating an additional table for sessions. But I'm going to go through kind of an extension of that and actually overriding the sessions table completely. But if we just run dbt deps, and then we run dbt run, and we'll go full refresh, then will that work? Yeah. Then what you can see is that dbt already runs, and you don't actually have to worry about too much. You just have to think about which contexts do I want to enable, which modules do I want to enable, when do I want to start running the package from, and then dbt will just start running and processing that data. So the start date is basically the first date that is to be considered. But from that point onwards, you don't need to change this variable. You can just keep running, and it will, with the help of this manifest table, it will just continuously update data to the latest or process data until the latest time. Cool. Once this runs, you can also run dbt test, which I won't do because there's a lot of tests. But you can see there's 141 tests, and it will run through all those tests and make sure that everything's working fine. Then in the last commit that I have, so in the previous commit, that was all we had to do. We basically had to dbt init. We had to create a packages.yaml, add the package, and then just run, and dbt will run the default kind of Snowplow mobile package. What we can do is we can add in the models folder. We can add, I mean, this is just to clean things up, but we added Snowplow _mobile _custom _modules, and then sessions, because I'm going to be overwriting the sessions table. And I created a sessions activity directory, which is a very simple table, or which has a very simple table called Snowplow mobile sessions foregrounded this run. And basically all we're doing is we're pointing to the base events this run. So as we mentioned here, the events this run is kind of the source of everything. And we're just looking at every session ID that has needed to be updated this run. And we're counting how many times the application has been foregrounded in this session ID, and how many times the application has been backgrounded in this session ID. And we're storing those variables as session foregrounded and session backgrounded. This is going to be a drop and recompute. And then what I'm doing is in the Snowplow mobile sessions custom is I'm taking everything from the Snowplow mobile sessions this run. So everything that's in the in kind of the default setup for sessions, and I'm joining the mobile sessions foregrounded this run, which you can see session foregrounded, session backgrounded. I'm joining on session ID, session ID. This is just a Boolean that will check if there's actually new events to be processed. This configuration I just took straight from DBT packages, mobile, models, sessions, mobile sessions. So it's the exact same thing. So yeah, I don't know how much time we have, but basically we're just setting up the standard configurations. And obviously you can add whatever logic you want in here. And then in the actual project.yaml, we do need to add these lines that say that basically within the mobile package, within the sessions directory, within Snowplow mobile sessions, so that that specific table, we're going to disable that. So we're not enabling that, so that DBT doesn't create that Snowplow mobile sessions table, but instead takes our Snowplow mobile sessions table, which is here. And since the user table, which we can see, since the user table is dependent on the sessions table, we also have to tell DBT, oh, but the new sessions table is over here. And that's what we say here. So we add this new variable of snowplow _ sessions table, and we say reference the Snowplow mobile sessions custom table, which is this one that we just created. Yeah, then when we run this, I mean, we can run this. Probably fresh. As with all demos, you know, I'm not liable if it doesn't work, but it is working. It's throwing some warnings because basically there are tests associated with the old sessions table that we're now, but that sessions table is disabled. But that's not a huge deal. We can create our own tests, which I've done here. And basically we'll see in a sec if it all goes well. But instead of running the old, or instead of using the old sessions table, we'll instead be using the custom sessions table. And actually you can see it ran already. So it said created Snowplow incremental model DBT Snowplow _ mobile _ sessions _ custom. So that's all good, and that's live now in this case in our Snowflake database. See, so that completed successfully. Again, this is a way to overwrite an already existing model that we have in DBT. But there is an example in the GitHub, and if you DBT deps in your own folders, of how to just add an extra column or an extra table into your DBT project, and that's actually a little bit easier. At some point soon, I will also add this example to our DBT package so that you can see this as well without needing this demo. But yeah, that was kind of the idea of this demo, and I'll stop sharing now. And if anyone has any questions, then obviously feel free to ask.